Okay, well, in this video, we are going to be factoring higher degree polynomials by grouping. So, a couple of things to remember. Number one, not all polynomials can be factored. As a matter of fact, the number of polynomials that can be factored, that group is a lot smaller than the group of polynomials that can't be factored. And number two, we already know that higher degree polynomials can be factored like quadratics, as long as they have 3 terms. And I'm going to demonstrate that with fourth degree, even degree polynomials in another video. But in this video, I'm going to remind you that you've already factored some cubics, third degree polynomials, like we do quadratics. For example, in this problem, we had n cubed minus 5n squared minus 14n. So we factored out an n first, right? And then put the n out here. And then we dealt with what we had left for a trinomial, which would have been n squared minus 5n minus 14. And if you're not quite sure how we ended up with our final answer of our 3 roots, then please watch one of my other videos, number 1 and number 2, on how to factor when a is equal to 1. So let's move on, though, to what we're doing in this video, like I just said. But what if you have 4 terms? Well, you're not going to factor using 2 binomials, right? Because when you factor with 2 binomials, you always end up with 3 terms, unless it's a special case, in which case you get 2, right? And we just learned about that the other day. So let's factor by grouping. Okay, so here is our polynomial. We've got 15x cubed plus 10x squared plus 3x plus 2. So we've got 4 terms here to deal with. So let's follow on the left. You can screenshot these instructions or take a picture. But step 1, I'm going to try to do this in a couple different colors to make it clearer. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put parentheses around our 2 highest degree terms and our 2 lowest degree terms, okay? So let's put parentheses around the highest degree terms and the lowest degree. That's step 1. Step 2, factor the greatest common factor out of each pair. Well, this is something that you guys can do, and I'm going to write this in red, okay? So what is the greatest common factor that I could divide out of both 10x squared and 15x cubed? Well, I would go for 5x squared, right? This is an x squared, this is an x cubed, so I know I can divide out an x squared. And 10 and 5, the greatest common factor, is 5. So let's do that, all right? X squared divided by x squared, well, that's going to cancel itself out, right? It equals 1. And 10 divided by 5 is 2. Great. Actually, you know what? Nope. I want that to be blue. Okay. So what do I have left after I do this division? I end up with 2. All right. So what do I end up with here? Well, 15 divided by 5 is 3. And x cubed divided by x squared is just going to give me an x left. All right, so that's this binomial. And let me make sure that I write my factor out to the side, okay? And let's do the same thing over here. I've got a 3x plus 2. So what's the only number that I could divide out of both of those terms? The answer is 1, all right? So then I'm going to leave the rest of it like it is. And I want you to notice something very important to this process. I want you to notice that what we've got is we've got these two factors are now multiplying each other, and these two factors are multiplying each other. And I furthermore want you to notice that this binomial is common to this binomial. All right? They are the same, which means that since this is one big happy multiplication problem, right? And this is one big happy multiplication problem, I can factor out the common binomial. If after this greatest common factor business, you do not have a common binomial, you did something wrong, and you've got to go back and check your arithmetic. So let's divide out the 3x plus 2, okay? 3x plus 2. All right, so now I've got this divided out. I'm going to write it as its own factor now. It's a factor, right? I divided it out. So now look at what I have left. I have 2 terms left. I've got 5x squared plus 1. And there you have it. This is my final answer. There's nothing else that I can do with this problem. I have factored it completely. And I've got 2 binomial factors of this 4-term polynomial. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.